like a developer. A crucial step in designing successful computing innovations is understanding the people who will use the innovation. Excellent developers take deep care to understand their users. They may research user behavior or solicit input from actual users, collecting data through surveys, user testing, interviews, or direct observations. And since different people may have different goals or may approach an innovation differently, it's important to gather data from a wide range of user audiences. When your design incorporates diverse perspectives, it will improve the experience for all users. When you understand the people, in all their diversity, who will use a computing innovation, you can move on to focusing on the innovation's purpose. Without a clearly defined purpose, your app is unlikely to offer a great user experience. The more deeply you understand the app's core mission and the needs and goals of the people who will use it, the easier it will be to create and refine your work. When users have expectations that remain unmet, they'll be disappointed or frustrated. But when their expectations are exceeded, they'll be surprised and delighted. Designing a user experience goes beyond understanding its core purpose and its users. Consider the data your app works with and the common tasks users will perform. Are there types of data that are more important than others? How easy is it to see your app's most important data without hunting for it? How easy and obvious is it to perform the core tasks? What kinds of feedback do users need in order to accomplish their goals? A good app designer has answered all of these questions and more. As a result, they can prioritize their design elements to build a focused app that's a delight to use. A final design consideration is whether you can or should use data about your users, analytics, to enhance their experience. Once an app is out in the world, the data it collects from its users can provide important insights into their behaviors, goals, and preferences. You might, for example, want to track which screens are visited most often or which buttons are ignored. Or you might want to collect data that users input into the app. Apple provides some built-in analytics for app developers as well. At the same time, you'll need to consider what kinds of PII the app might be collecting. It's personally identifiable information. As a company, Apple has strong opinions about data collection, transparency and control, and security. Apple has 4 key principles around designing for user privacy. 1 is request consent when your app needs personal data. 2, be transparent about how personal data will be used. 3, give the user control over their personal data and protect the personal data you collect. And 4, use the minimum amount of personal data required. Consider this. Reflect on your QuestionBot app. Work through the prompts below to improve users' experience of the app. 1. What are the typical goals a user may have? 2. What kinds of data are you displaying? What kinds of data are you collecting? 3. What do you know about the kinds of input your users can provide? Is it open feedback? Can you limit options? Or can you calibrate your app to better understand the user? 4. What goals might users have when using the app, and are there limitations that impede the ability of your app to meet their goals? 5. What kind of feedback can you provide to a user to improve the data you receive and their overall experience? How can you guide them through the input process? 6. How can you correct mistaken input? Can you infer what users mean even if they provide it in the wrong way, such as entering 1, the string, instead of a required integer 1, the number? If users are giving incorrect input, can you let them know what they need to provide? 7. Imagine how different kinds of people could be impacted by elements of the design and describe their experiences. For example, if there is an error, the app could simply display an error message, or it could provide haptic feedback such as vibration for people with low vision.